Hey, what's up? It's Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast, presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm your host again this week, Nudia. I know you missed the guys. They're still on vacation, but good news. They will be back next week, starting October 6th, with brand new episodes for you. We got such good feedback on our first best of that we thought we'd bring you another one. This time we're going to highlight the trials, tribulations, and obstacles that some of the guests here on the podcast have had to overcome. This is the Best of the R.O.A.D podcast, Volume 2, Inspiring Stories. First off, we head to Miami for episode 112 when the guys sat down with the legendary DJ Laz. At birth, doctors told his mom he had a 0% chance of walking. Laz's recollection of beating those odds was truly one of the most inspiring stories.
You've got a very interesting childhood story.
I do.
Yeah.
And it's and hopefully whoever's listening to this, it'll inspire you and never let anything hold you back. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't supposed to walk.
Yeah.
I was supposed to lay flat in a bed my entire life. Mm-hmm. That's what they told my mom when I was born.
I saw that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
well, it's like at 3 months, right? They what do you call it? You had 17 surgeries or something crazy.
I don't know what the timeline. I'd love to know where. I'm gonna Google myself after I leave here. Cookie got some good shit.
You'd be like, damn, yeah.
But I was born, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My mom, my brothers and sisters were born in Cuba. My mom was 37 years old when she had me. So all of a sudden, oh shit, you're pregnant. Oh, that was unexpected. Okay, well, boom, gives birth. And the bottom of my feet were touching my chest. Bottom. Think about that for a second. I got quiet.
Wait,
the bottom. So your foot, because this is on film and all that shit too. The bottom, like this, touching my chest.
It was just resting like that.
On both legs. Yeah, just there. So I have no joints. Ready? I'm going to borrow you for a second. Push my arm back. Push it. I'm not holding them.
Yeah.
Do that one.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't want to hit you.
I won't hit because it won't go back. I have no joints.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm on the phone and shit, it's like, yo, what up? Oh. And oh my God, that's some cool hip hop shit. I had a white girl tell me that one day. She's like, oh my God, I fucking love the way you hold your phone. Is that like some cool hip hop shit? It's like, no, it's having no joint shit, bitch.
Yeah.
For real.
That's wild.
For real.
There's fucking videos in the
I'm telling you. And dude, it's just insane. So here's the doctor comes in. He tells my mom.
That does look fucking cool though. The holding the shit.
Yeah. And by the way, hang out with me. Hang out with me for 1 week. You'll be holding your phone the same fucking way. I swear to God. It's happened to all my friends. Yeah. It's happened to all my friends.
Pass him your phone now. You just hold it for the camera.
That's literally how I hold like one of my boys' phone that I know is a dirty motherfucker.
Because this arm don't bend it, I compensate with my wrist. So I'm like, yo, what up?
That shit look cool as hell.
Yeah.
That's some cool hip hop. That shit look fly as fuck.
Right? So it's
like Laz is feeling himself.
Yeah, what up, fucking motherfucker. So here comes the doctor.
Is that the reason why you do voice text as well?
Oh, no, I'm just fucking lazy.
Okay, cool, okay. Because I saw him do that, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe, yeah.
No, I figured that shit out, and fat fingers suck.
Okay.
I hit 3 of them at the same time. I'm like, yo, I'm just using my voice. And I love how people tell me, you can actually do that, and it does it perfectly? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, you're a radio guy. I'm like, no, just fucking talk.
Yeah.
So doctor comes in, tells mom, hey, listen, your son was born with a birth defect. I hate to be the one to bring the bad news to you, but your son will never walk. He'll lie flat in a bed his entire life.
Fuck.
He won't sit, he won't stand, he won't walk. My mother says, do me a favor. Don't ever repeat what you just said to me. Don't ever repeat that to anybody. Definitely, she said, don't tell my husband because he doesn't have the faith that I have. So my mom said about my dad. The doctor says, ma'am, mind you, this is a very long time ago. Okay. Right. I'll be 48 December 2nd. So 47 years ago, they were like, what the fuck is that? That was a Cuban pretzel. Put mustard on me, sell me at the fair. You know what I'm saying? Yo, for real. This shit was like this. So, cool. The doctor says, ma'am, whatever you want, boom, leaves. Now, this is the part of the podcast that's going to get a little serious, and then we'll get back to fucking around. So, mom's in the hospital bed thinking crazy shit. She's got 2 daughters, my brother, and now me. They're perfect. Now they're telling her that I'm never going to walk. Mom's sitting in a hospital room by herself. She says that Jesus appears in front of her. All her hair stood up. Back of her neck, I mean, everywhere. She was like in awe. She said, this is what he said: have faith in me, your son will walk. Don't believe what the doctors are saying. Gone. Imagine that manifesting in front of you. My mother said, I don't know what just happened. I know what just happened, but I can't believe it just happened. That's when she said, I'm going to name him Lazaro. And this is very Cuban of me. But this is Saint Lazaro. This is the saint of healing. So that's when she said, I'm going to name him Lazaro. And I'm going to make a promise to Saint Lazaro through the man up top that if he walks, I'm going to get a dress made out of burlap, potato sack, and wear it for a year. Day in and day out. Check this shit out. So one day she says she's home, and I was doing exactly what the doctor said I'd be doing. Lying flat in bed. You know, I was in the crib. My mom was doing dishes or some shit. And she said that she looks over, and I sat up. Mom's like, hold up. Calls a doc. Doc, Laz is sitting. Mrs. Mendez, oh my God, that's a miracle. Congratulations. Da-da-da-da-da. Keep me posted. Cool. Now, to her, this is a huge fucking thing. Right. To him, he's probably thinking the bitch is crazy. She calls the doc back. Doc, Laz is standing in the crib. Mrs. Mendez, oh my God, I don't know what to say. Hang on one second. What's wrong? Hey, if this bitch calls again, I'm busy, okay? Okay, yeah, está loca. All right.
Yo, his fucking...
Fucked up. Okay.
His fucking voices are crazy.
Hang on, don't say... Shh. Don't say a word. Mrs. Mendez, yes, please, keep me posted. Let me know. Da-da-da-da-da. Cool. Some time goes by. Calls the doc back. She goes, Doc, Laz just walked. Doctor says, Mrs. Mendez, do me a favor. Check yourself into a mental institution. It is physically impossible for your son to walk. He has no joints. She goes, oh, so I'm crazy. He goes, you need help. Oh, I'm on my way to the hospital. So she pulled up to the hospital. There was a gang of people outside. Mind you know, my calves are in a fucking jar somewhere. So, boom, we pull up. 200 people outside. Doctor takes me out, sets me down on the ground, and all fucked up.
Wow.
I walked to the doc. Took steps. So the fucking doctor felt that his knees didn't move for 20 minutes. Because imagine everything that he had learned, everything that he had studied, everything he read, every video he saw, just everything. I just defied all that shit. So now this motherfucker's like, yo, I don't know what happened. But now that it happened, now let's go.
Yeah.
And that's when all the surgeries started. And I don't know the timeline. I don't know what you Googled, but
yeah.
I don't even know. I was a baby. Yeah. So, but I got 17 surgery scars all the way down the back of the leg, on the foot, over here. I got them everywhere. But you know what? It's made me who I am. You know what I'm saying? So I turned sort of like Pitt, a negative into a positive. I said, okay, fuck, I limp. Can't get rid of it. I'm going to call myself the pimp with the limp. I've always been a ladies' man. I've been a very blessed motherfucker in that department. Because what I lack in physical ability, I have in personality. And at the end of the day, you make a bitch laugh, you feed her and you fuck her, you got her.
Damn. That's Jane. That's
my
game.
mom. Jamie was saying that. I've been saying that forever.
You know,
if you can make her laugh and you treat her to some good tacos, you good. Mama. I'm Mexican, so I don't take it to the people fine.
For sure.
That's fucking insane.
That's a crazy story, right?
It's inspiring.
It's one of the most beautiful stories I've heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you.
Honestly,
but it's listen, one thing about me is I'm real.
Family work-life balance has always been a huge topic on the R.O.A.D podcast, and in episode 75, the amazing Tina T shares her story of always wanting to become a parent, but she wasn't going to wait for her Prince Charming to have her happily ever after, so she decided to become a foster parent.
I mean, you obviously love kids, right?
Yeah, I do.
So you were telling me earlier that you're a foster parent?
Yeah, I became a foster parent in 2016.
What is that? How do you do that?
You start by just going to your local city website, and there's info sessions every week. So you start there, and then you go through 8 weeks of parenting classes that are these 3-hour classes, and then you go through background checks and fingerprinting and friend referrals and home inspections and all that. So the whole process, when I did it before, it took me about a year.
Yeah.
And then this time I just reopened my license again, and they've shortened it to like 2.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So
you had the kid for a year?
No, I had 4 kids over the course of a year, one at a time.
Okay.
And this was actually when I was still DJing. Like, I had to obviously do a little bit less of the out-of-town gigs, but I was DJing in town. It was the first time I ever found myself at a gig at 2 in the morning where they said, "Can you stay an extra hour?" And I like had this moment where I was like,
My babysitter's leaving in 20 minutes.
like, you hear about it, but I was like, I can't. My babysitter won't stay past 2.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and obviously I never got booked there again.
Really?
I mean, it must be hard. Like, well, it's especially hard when you're like a single mom, because babysitters are expensive,
Yeah.
like $200.
That's
A
crazy.
night?
Well, when you're out, you're out from like 9:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have
There's some are there single mothers DJing out there?
I don't think,
I
not
don't
that we
know.
know of.
I
feel like
really
that's
no.
not
I'm
like
trying
a-
to think. I'm not
I have a
seeing
new
them.
respect for single moms,
I
for
don't
sure.
think there
Especially
are.
if they're working full time during the day. You know, I have a flexible schedule, so I made it work.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Really
So
hard.
wait, you didn't have all 4 at once, right?
No, I had one at a time. I was
Pause.
licensed for girls ages 6 up to 18.
Talking about children here.
I know.
Cricket,
I
please.
just hear all 4 at once, and
Yes.
my mind goes into
Yes.
Well, how does that work? Like, you have them for a couple of months, and then what's the next step for the child?
Well, you never know how long you're going to have them,
Yeah.
because it depends. Like, the court could say, you're going home today, or the judge could say, your parents are going to jail. And so there's just no way of knowing. The longest placement I had was a 17-year-old girl, and I had her for 6 months.
Wow. Why do you want to do this?
Well, I'm always just looking for ways to make my life more difficult.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Is that what really is?
No, I have this.
Okay, I was like-
we all have a bucket list, right? And on my bucket list is I want to experience being a parent. I don't think I necessarily need it to like come from my body, but I also have zero control over meeting the right person or when I'll have kids. So it was just kind of like my life hack to having kids. Like, I can do it now.
Yeah.
Is there also a fear to have your own kid? So you were like, let me try it out this way?
See how it works.
Not a fear of parenting a kid. It's more of for me personally, it's like, and I think there's a term for this where you have a fear of giving birth. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine pushing out like a watermelon size? It just freaks me out to think about it.
I don't think all babies are watermelon size. Unless like
Most.
You were definitely.
I was a watermelon size. I was going to say that, but I don't think that everybody comes out like me, Tina. You'll be okay.
I don't know. I don't think it requires, to be a mom, to be a parent. I don't think it has to come from me.
So you don't want to go through that whole process of carrying a kid for 9 months?
I mean, I'm okay without it.
Now that I think about it, I don't even think I know any female or women DJs that have kids.
I do.
I
You
do.
do?
I do.
I
a
don't
couple.
Not
know.
many.
I don't know any.
But yeah.
What's it? That shorty Wendy?
Yeah.
I forgot her name.
Wendy Cakes?
Wendy Cakes.
I don't think I know. Wait.
She was like a go-go dancer in San Diego at Stingery,
Yeah.
and then she started DJing. Yeah,
She got like 3 kids now. She's
she
still
got 3
DJing.
kids.
Yeah.
God damn. I know she still DJs.
Yeah.
Like does corporate shit. But all right, so I was thinking you did it because it was like your love of kids.
No.
She was like, it's a bucket list. No, she has love for kids. Come on, guys.
I
Just
do
trying to
love
clean up-
kids,
yeah,
but
trying
it's
to-
not usually the first thing. Like when I started the summer camp, it was more the love of DJing, the love of summer camp, and then kids were like the default. Like
Yeah.
originally it started as, when they have those DJ conferences for the radio. Because I think I was talking to DJ Revolution, and he was on the radio, and they pay to send them to Jamaica, and then they like spoil them with hookers and performances and all that, So I was like, wow, that'd be so cool if they did something like that, but at a summer camp.
Yeah.
But no hookers.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But like an adult, and then I thought,
That sounds like.
and I thought, well, that won't be fun because it'll just be like a shit show of people drinking and, turn into like a festival. So then I thought, well, maybe we make it a kids' summer camp, and it just kind of evolved into teaching that next generation.
So did you do the foster shit before the camp spinoff?
After. I started Camp Spinoff in 2010.
In 2010?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah,
time.
it's been a
I didn't know it
minute,
had been
yeah.
that long.
Yeah.
I knew it was a while from there.
So what made you so you didn't know shit about kids, but you wanted to do this?
Okay, I have a quick question. Walk us through? You pick up the kid. What's the icebreaker? What do you take?
It doesn't even make sense.
I'm trying to figure out what do
icebreaker.
you? Yeah, what do you do? Like you take them, I don't know, McDonald's, or you take them to dinner. What do you like to? That's
McDonald's is the icebreaker.
I
Tina
don't
T,
know.
let us explain
Explain
something.
to us.
I'm realizing, yes, welcome to my weird world.
No,
It
it's
is
not weird. It's pretty interesting. to say
So,
the least.
when you pick up the kids, they actually show up with
Okay,
literally.
where do you pick them up at? Like
There's
Cord?
this place downtown
Okay.
in Las Vegas called Child Haven, but
Okay.
it's like institutionalized living.
Wait, we're
There's-
talking about spinoff or
No, we're talking
No,
about
we're talking about the
foster.
foster.
bouncing around.
Get it together here, Crooked. Fine.
Okay, we're talking about foster care.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get a call from someone at placement, and they're like, "Hey, we have this awesome 10-year-old girl, and she needs a home." And I'm like, "Okay."
You make it
sounds-
sound like Uber.
Well, they're placement workers are like used car salesmen.
Okay.
That's their job. They're like, we see you're only licensed for 1, but we have a sibling group of 3. We can change it. They're like that. So I'm like, cool, I'll come down there. Go down to Child Haven, which is actually double barbed wire like a prison.
Wow.
It's actually like now illegal. So anyways, I'll get to
Wow.
that later. But go down there, meet the kid, pick them up. So they leave with literally a garbage bag.
Damn.
Because they don't have anything. So
Yeah.
the first thing you do when you bring a kid home is we go to Target or Walmart, we get underwear, socks. They don't have anything.
So shopping spree off the
school,
rip.
school supplies, all that stuff. That's like step number 1. And the kids are cool. Yeah, there was one time where a girl cried the whole way in the car.
Wow.
And the ice didn't break. We went, got all the clothes and everything. And then when we came home, my 2 dogs, she was sitting on the couch, and she did not break a smile once. I felt so bad. My dogs jumped up on her, and she immediately starts this huge smile, laughing, playing with the dogs, and then it was broken, and we were good. So.
Okay.
So you never meet them before that moment, like.
No, you pretty much have to agree to it. When you go down there, you're going because they don't want you shopping for kids, and you don't
Right.
want to meet a
Yeah.
kid and leave without them because then they feel like, what did they do wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't understand why you're doing this.
She wanted to be a parent, but
it's
not
just-
necessarily do it by have herself. She just wanted to, experience the.
I don't
He's still not
understand.
getting
I don't
it.
get it.
No, here's the
I
thing.
don't get
Here's the
it.
thing. I don't get. I thought that when you get a foster kid, that you take care of it from the young
baby.
age until like they're like
18 or
adults and
whatnot.
ready to
Yeah.
leave the house.
So the goal of a foster parent is to reunite the kids with their biological family as long as it's safe.
Oh, okay.
So you do have to give them back to sometimes a family that you might not agree with, but you also really have to not judge.
So you really can't get attached to the kids.
You're like purgatory.
Pretty
A
much.
little
Yeah,
bit, right?
that is the hard part because they do go home, but that's fostering. I'm not adopting.
Oh, I see.
Adopting
Oh,
is like
okay.
where you want to keep the
Yeah.
kid forever. Fostering is, I literally just want their their experience in foster care to not be traumatizing. They can look back and be like, yeah, I was in foster care, but I met Miss Tina and she's this cool DJ and we got to have fun. Like that's the way I want them to look at their experience. And a lot of kids have really horrible stories from foster care. So
Yeah.
if I can be that one like good thing, then that's kind of why I do
That's
it.
cool. I
That's
like
crazy.
That's amazing.
Next up, we head into an early episode of the R.O.A.D podcast, episode 22, where Mega Man opened up about the abuse he suffered as a child and how it followed him into adulthood, but music always served as his escape.
I'm obsessed, and he got me obsessed. But we talk about pain and creativity, and how pain and talent, or pain and creativity, are almost hand in hand. So, like the people who experience the most pain always end up being highly creative or very talented in something because it's an obsession in this one thing, and it's almost like an escapism, right? Borderline.
Definitely. Yeah, for me. Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, going into that, I believe this episode will be surrounded around pain
And creativity.
and creativity. So when he says he was being bullied, and you were talking about abuse, like basically like molestation, right?
Well, it was. I'll give you an example. It'd be like if I didn't eat what she had made, then she would say, "Michael, I have a surprise for you," and I'd walk in and she'd beat the shit out of me with whatever random object she had at the
Oh,
time.
so it was really abuse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
this was
it
your
was-
babysitter.
Yeah, this is a babysitter.
Okay.
yeah, back
What
in the day.
was she Latina? Because that sounds like some Mexican traits there.
Well, I would try to tell you what she was, but I disassociated so much. I
You
barely
forgot.
I almost don't remember 3 years of my childhood because of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy.
But see, I didn't really know that it was this bad until a few years ago. I started having anxiety for no reason, and I was trying to figure out where it was coming from, and then it kind of led back to digging real deep to find out
So
that it was that.
when you were getting abused like this, what was the like? How old were you? 3, 4, 5, 6?
I mean, it's hard for me to really remember because I'm serious. Like it's like blacked out almost.
Wow.
And then what's weird is when I go to try to think about it, it's like my brain almost like goes to something else. It's actually really blocked. So
Where your
it's hard for
brain
me
is
to
trying to
remember.
protect you almost.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow.
That's crazy.
So I remember a few key abuse moments, but I remember the time when I kind of like woke up and figured out something was wrong. Because when you're that young, you kind of just think it's normal. Well, for me, I thought it was normal, so I didn't say anything to my parents. I didn't say anything to anybody else because you don't know anything when you're that young. But I started to think something was wrong when she had like nap time. And I remember being so afraid to ask her to use the restroom, I pissed on myself. That's when I figured out something was wrong. Yeah.
Wow.
But so through that, let's just say if I had post-traumatic stress, the problem with that is if you don't get help, you don't know what good and bad is anymore. So then all humans have that ability to prey on the weak because that's ingrained in our biology kind of thing, right? So if you don't know what's bad and what's good, then you can't stand up for yourself because you just don't know. So then you just get bullied. So I think a lot of people that get bullied are also, maybe sometimes they've experienced something that's traumatic and they can't figure out who's to stay away from. So that's when music came into play, thank God for that, and then work through that shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the early stages when you were growing up, you talked about. I mean, you spoke to me earlier about piano, and I remember I have such a bad memory, but I remember you telling me you were like a genius in piano. Well, you weren't telling me, but like you did a test or someone said you were a genius. I mean, he wasn't like an arrogant prick, like I'm a genius in piano, but like I remember there being a test about, you being like a genius in piano.
No, it wasn't necessarily piano. It was my piano teacher had hinted to my family that maybe they should find somebody else to teach me because I had been learning things almost instantly.
So your piano teacher was like, yo, he's becoming almost better than me, or like he's exceeding my tutelage. Or
Not
whatever,
better than
right?
him, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was just, they thought I could be great. Let's just say I had the potential to be great.
And that was like you said, age 7.
Yeah, I was pretty young. I think I was pretty young.
You're pretty young.
Yeah, 7, 8.
Because I
around
took
there.
piano lessons and I don't remember shit from it, but yeah.
Yeah, but I lost a lot of the skills from back then. I lost some of the muscle memory because I stopped because I got kind of bored and also was probably experiencing weird feelings of going to going to elementary school and all that stuff.
So it was that abuse from the babysitter, and then also at school you were kind of like socially awkward.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you were getting kind of bullied at school.
Yeah, actually, I think it was like the first week of kindergarten. Some kid
That early?
Yeah, some kid had punched me in my face, and there was blood everywhere. And I remember I lied to the nurse about why I had the bloody nose, but I couldn't tell you why I lied. It was almost like I was used to making a story the whole time with the babysitter, so it was just a natural instinct to lie about, I fell. But then the school nurse said that she had heard from the kids that somebody had actually hit me.
Shit.
So I was already making up lies to myself that young.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how deep,
Yeah.
things can affect you for that long.
So
It's
I
pretty
mean,
serious.
I don't want to go back into this, but I'm just a little curious. So did your parents find out about the babysitter?
They found out later, but you have, because see, a lot of people don't. It's hard for me to explain it because I'm telling you, my brain will goes to some other place when I try to really think about this.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know that it was abuse until I had a really bad breakup in a relationship, and then I went to counseling, and then he was like, well, there's got to be something else that's making you choose these women that aren't good for you. Oh. And then that's when we went through all the past, and then he was like, oh, no, that was fucked up. You're lucky to be alive right now. You're lucky that you haven't started doing heroin and doing all kinds of other shit. You should really work on this. You should have been working on this for years and years afterwards.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Damn.
But I didn't know that.
Yo, Mike, did you see the Defiant ones? With
I
Dr. Dre and
The
Jimmy
HBO
Iovine?
shit?
only saw the first 2 episodes, I think.
Man, you better go back.
Because there was a part where Dre said his therapy from Tupac dying and from his son dying was just straight music.
Oh yeah.
And had he
for
not
sure.
had that, he probably would have been on drugs or probably would have
yeah.
died. So like for you, like was that just a therapeutic thing?
Yeah,
Or
I
did
mean,
you even know it was therapeutic at the time, or you know what I mean?
it's.
I mean, he didn't know it was
Like, I
therapy.
didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
know at the time. It's just.
Or just to like get away from
Yeah.
the bullshit type of shit.
Plus, all my friends that I had grown up with started using heavy drugs. You know, like the acid, cocaine, PCP, and shit. And I never did any of that stuff. But it was only because of music I didn't experiment with it. Because I remember thinking, I can take acid and be scared as fuck in my room, thinking ghosts are coming out of the ceiling, which is what happened to one of my friends. He called me and shit. Or I could just listen to the new Biggie record and try to learn how to scratch. And I chose the scratching in the Biggie record for that day.
So like immediately, like when you got the turntables, went to get records. What was it? You were just into the scratching, the mixing, or everything? Just everything. You were just.
I don't know. You know, I think every DJ kind of knows if you really love music, it's kind of just it calls to you. You don't really understand why it's calling to you. It's just in you for some reason. And
But you got so focused at age 12, 13, you were like sunning. You were like really good to the point where you could do clubs.
Yeah, I mean, I got my first radio job when I was 14, but like I said, I was just following what was calling to me. And I think a lot of I'm not completely against education, but that's one of the problems I think is that it doesn't really teach you to go look for what calls to you. It teaches you to fit in sort of this box. So we all fit into this box, and we're all supposed to be good people to pay taxes, and rather than trying to figure out what do you actually love and how can you make money from that, but at the same time feel fulfilled in life.
There's some quotes of the R.O.A.D podcast that just stick with you. For me, it's "Why am I here?" This is a direct quote from Rock Decon in episode 26, where he explains why at the height of his career, he walked away from it all.
I'd always been troubled as a child, and I kind of, I was young. I stopped doing drugs, and this sort of music, DJing, sort of hip hop, and the whole thing became my outlet.
Right.
And I always felt like this DJ thing, if I can like get this popping to, get as big as I would like to get, or be as successful as I'd like to be, a sort of like things that have always plagued me, the like personal stuff that's always plagued me won't plague me anymore.
Right.
But as the E! True Hollywood story has told us time and time again, that no matter how successful you are who you are. You are who you are. Your demons will follow you. So I was on the road with Suji. I had a great time. We had so much fun, but that stuff wasn't changing, and I was unhappy. And I also woke up one day, and it's like I got into this business to never have a job. And there's a fucking guy in a suit with a fucking earpiece in telling me what to do.
AKA the manager.
Yeah, whatever. And I was like, how did this happen? I understand, especially more now than ever, like on some level, there's always going to be someone that tells you what to do, like the client or whoever. But it was bad at certain venues. It was really bad. Like there's a guy in a fucking lame suit with an earpiece who doesn't understand what you're doing and doesn't understand that you're a professional, telling you what to do.
Well, here's what happened. In New York, obviously, bottle service, nightclubs, the scene that we were in, right, was bubbling. But it was still the early first 5 years of it, something like that.
Yeah. The early
So
stages.
all of a sudden it became a product.
It was fast and loose for a while.
Yeah.
And then it became corporate.
It became a product. And ultimately, when it became a product, it started to leak to other cities and states. And it became, like corporate. It became like anything in America became corporate.
Yeah.
And that's when you started when they started not trusting the DJs, when they started saying, well, I'm the money guy. I own this shit. Or the manager's like, I run this shit. And I know better than you. When in actuality, it was a new concept for a lot of these cities and a lot of these venues and the managers. You know what I mean?
And nightlife, like obviously you want to make money, but nightlife, if you don't put you can't put money first. Like, it can't be numbers. If you run it all on numbers, you don't have magic. And so there has to be some bit of, we're just going to do this because we want to.
Well, you say all the time that bottle service killed nightlife, kind of, right?
Kind of. I mean, the marquee group people, they found a way to really monetize it, and they really tightened the screws and made everything really corporate, and a lot of people followed them down that road of, we're going to run it like this, and there's no room for magic when there's I used to walk into the club and they have these meetings with the bottle girls, and they're like, did you fill out a comment card about so-and-so, what they liked, like what they drank? And it's like, these are the things that good nightlife people do. They know what you drink or what the important people do and this and that.
Right.
But the way they were doing it was so corporate and so ugh.
Right.
Like the Steve Rubell at Studio 54, he fucking knew what everybody wanted and knew what people wanted and drank. He's like a crazy guy that kept it all in his head, not like a weird, like just managing a file of information on clients. They just did it in this way that sanitized things. So anyways, what were we talking about before that?
We were kind of talking about shit.
Oh, the 2000s, my journey through the thing.
With scamming.
Yeah, so I'm on the road with Sujit. Like, things are going good. I'm sort of getting the name up, getting the rates up slowly. And, before AM started Dexstar, he threw me a couple gigs, and then he started Dexstar, and then it was like, AM, like, come over with us. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to just stay over here. It was, the whole thing is just, this got so not out of control, but just not for me. I was just unhappy. Like, the music was so, I don't know. It was just weird. The whole thing I was just over it, kind of. And I was over getting on the fucking plane, and I was like fat. I needed to lose some weight, and I just want to like hang out in New York and skateboard and like, DJ here and there.
Was it that there was no downtime in between? It was just like a constant machine that just kept going, and you were on the road.
It's a constant machine. And when I first started, like, I remember in the rave scene, when I was real young, like, I was like 15, 16 going to this shit. But you heard someone's tape, like you heard a DJ's tape, or you saw them play. You're like, I really like the music that he played. I really like what happened that night. Like, I want to see him or her or whoever. I want to see them again. And then you hear some DJ's thing, and I want to, like, I like the music. I like what they do. I want to go see them. The 2000s bottle thing was not about us. Like, people didn't come to the club to see me or they came to see AM, right? Like, AM could sell tickets, but they weren't there to see us. Like, and I got to this weird place where, like, I'm making this money, and it kind of felt like a little bit of a pyramid scheming kind of thing, where it's like, what are we really selling them? And like, why am I going to this place for $2,000 when, like, they maybe can't afford this, and like, nobody's coming because of me. So like, why am I here? Like, why am I here?
So was it kind of like, oh, he's a white dude, he's kind of like AM, he's on that rock shit, so we're gonna book Rockticon?
Well, I think there's people that book me. They're like, wow, you're great. Like,
right.
We like having you at our club. But there's also, Suja's thing was always like, we'll just get the money. Just go get that check. And which is absolutely an appropriate way to do business. That's how you do business. But I'm like, so I think if he had been more selective about where they sent me, and kind of, I'm, a diva, like you said. And so when you start sending me to, like
Milwaukee,
Milwaukee was actually fine. I don't even know if I ever went there. I don't even mind doing that stuff, but it's just the times where I would get up and be like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I here? And this makes no sense. Like, nobody's here to see me. And I'm sure, I'm going to get this check, but like, what am I doing here? There was like a lot of those times, and it just was not sweet. And I had my own personal stuff going on, and I got bored. It got boring. It was really exciting to put the music together. It was really exciting when Serato first came out to like edit the song up and do this and look at this thing we'd done for a long time from this new angle. It just got fucking boring. And I didn't feel fulfilled. And there was pressure from AM to like come do the Dexstar thing. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to maybe like get into doing more like house stuff. And I just kind of lost it. I was already burned out, and I kind of had a summer of 2008. I didn't do much. I worked Saturdays in the Hamptons, and I got great money for that. Suji got me great money, and that was kind of like the only gig I did that summer. I did a few other things here and there, but I was making like $2,000 every Saturday night. I kind of didn't have to do anything else. I did a little of this, a little of that, and I made good money, and I lost a bunch of weight. I was skateboarding all the time. And then it started to pick back up, and I was at Tao, and Omar was kind of like, I was driving around with him somewhere, and he was like, yeah, we should maybe start really using you again, and blah, blah, blah. And then they booked me for, I can't remember, I think it was for Tao. And I go to get on the plane, and the flight's delayed, and I'm like, I want to go home. And I was thinking about Vegas. I was like, there's tons of DJs there. Somebody can do it. Crooked could do it. And I asked the stewardess, I was like, I'm going to get off. She's like, you can't get off. I was like, the door's open. I can see it. And I was like, I'm getting off. So I just got off the plane. I said, I'm not going to make it to Vegas. And that was kind of that was it. I still worked here and there, but I was basically like, don't book, like run the shit by me. I'm probably going to say no.
So I remember that morning, and you were texting me. Yeah, I'm headed to Vegas. I'm like, all right, cool. And you'd be like, I'm on the plane. I'm like, dope. And like, I think I'm walking off the plane. And I was like, what? I was like, yo, come through. And like, I just walked off the plane. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? You're like, I'm done. And I was just like, the fuck is going on? I think I called, and you were just like, I'm done. I'm tired. I don't want to do this shit. And I was just like, fuck, man. And I remember talking to Never like, yo, man, I think this dude's burnt out.
I was definitely like burnt out, but at that time I wasn't even burnt out. I had a good summer. I broke up with this girl that I shouldn't have been dating for a long time, and things were good. But yeah, I don't know. It was just not for me. It's like still not for me in a way.
Yeah.
I found myself in LA. I was fucking broke. And I was making good money in the late 2000s, and it slowly died. And I've never made good money like I did back then. I mean, still don't make really great money at all. And so she was fucked up, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And I went and I talked to everyone I know out here, and I was like, people were like, well, you could be like PA on a TV show, or you could maybe intern at one of these studios. And everything was just like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like a job for a 20-year-old. It's so hungry.
Right.
And I'm old. I don't want to do it. I'm old and lazy and think I've done some shit. I'm not trying to go be greenhorn, you know? I'm not, the fucking Deadliest Catch. I'm not trying to like make the fucking bait and cut the heads off the fish and shit. Like, nah. And so it was either go in or at the very bottom somewhere at like 36 years old, or work again. And so I was like, okay. And I did, I scrounged up some work.
You started DJing.
Yeah, started DJing, and Dizza hooked it up. He was the one who was like, come to Miami, I got you. And after not working for years, and I was a miserable bastard. I was so nervous and like grouchy about having to do it. And then my whole attitude about it started to change.
Why? How so?
Because I've been working at Delilah a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'm there to do a job. I have a talent. I'm there to use that talent to do the job that they want me to do. And it's not about me. And it has nothing to do with who I am or like how I live my life. It's just how I make money.
Right.
And I also have sort of been, another thing, I was like, I don't want to DJ again, blah, 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 blah. And I realized one day, it's like, I've never DJed in Los Angeles, really. I don't know what it's like to be a working DJ here, so I can't truly say I don't want to do it. I know what it's like to work in New York till 4 a.m.
Right.
And I didn't want to do that again, but I'd never done it here. And I didn't know what it was going to be like. So I couldn't truly say I don't want to do it. So I started working again, and I made some mistakes, and it's been okay. But I just try to do the best job. I notice out here, they bother you less. There's less managers in your face. There's a little less. The SBE people are a little more like a marquee, but then I've been working for the H-Wood guys, and they're kind of a little groovier. They don't give me a hard time.
Yeah.
They sort of know I know what I'm doing. And Delilah's cool because it's like a restaurant, and the young guys can't really play there because it's a vibe. It's all vibe. Mm-hmm. And some nights you got to hammer, some nights you got to, just chip away at it.
And you kind of getting back where you kind of, you missed it a little bit? Appreciation? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean...
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I really liked writing. And I wouldn't have minded if I'd stayed on that course. But I had to put food on the table, and I had someone depending on me. And I just had to start DJing. And so, I mean, I don't know.
But isn't it, like you said, there was a good feeling where, like, I have a talent.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like you were denying the talent.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I just always wondered why you did that.
I don't know. Why do I do anything? Fucking crazy.
Most DJs find themselves running in the nightlife or entertainment industry circles, and sometimes it could be hard to know who your real friends are. In episode 24, the iconic radio personality and DJ Cypher Sounds shared how he learned this lesson when he left the radio industry.
Well, here's the thing about me. My life changed a couple years ago when I learned not to take things personally.
Uh-huh.
So on some like mental health, meditation, wellness type shit, I never take anything personally, right? I don't get offended at anything. If somebody hates me, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. But I'm literally confused about the Global Spin Awards. I never get mentioned. I never even get invited. I never get asked to come through. And I'm like, on the DJ front, I've done so much for the culture. I don't even get I don't care if I win or not. An invite.
Right.
So I never even know when they are happening.
So you never got invited to?
Never got invited. Never got how do you get invited? Is it an email? Is it something in the mail?
We were actually confused, and we were wondering what is, like, we were trying to trace or trying to understand what is the financial backing or what is the benefit of this whole thing. Yeah, like who's benefiting from this shit, like, and then who's involved and how does that work? It seems very political, man. Like,
yeah, but what politic group? Like
right.
We don't understand.
Like, what party is benefiting?
We don't understand like the nominees. We don't understand shit.
Like the criteria.
We didn't understand because it just kind of just seemed like the right PR motherfuckers hit up that are in this circle. Just like, these are the DJs we pick out.
I mean, does it have anything to do with Ciroc? Is Ciroc making money from this?
I know it's Revolt behind it.
Yeah.
Now it is.
And Sean Perez is like the head of it, right? Sean
Perez, I remember when he... Well, I'll tell you after we talk about it. But, so I never brag, I never boast. I'm just curious. The stuff I've done for this hip hop game, specifically DJ culture.
Yeah.
Why don't I get any accolades or recognized for it? So I was just ranting on my Instagram.
Yeah,
but we thought it was legitimate because. I mean, for us, and recently we even saw like, I guess it was the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Where you even talking about shit that we didn't even know about, where we were saying, where you broke records and shit like that.
That's one of my biggest flaws is I don't tell people enough all the stuff I've done.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But those people know, the Spin Awards people know, they were there.
Yeah.
They're like Sean Perez is from New York.
But is it maybe that you're not out in the circle, like
100%,
like mingling and doing all of that shit, right?
Especially now.
Yeah.
Especially since I left radio, I definitely don't mingle in the music industry DJ world. I'm still friends with a lot of people, and when you leave a radio station is when you figure out who your friends are and who is just your business associate
trying to get plays. And
yeah,
shit.
and also I understand that. It doesn't hurt me that you weren't really my friend. We worked together. I worked at a radio station. You worked for a record label. Your job was to schmooze me and get me to play records. Right. Some people, it was more than that. I've been to some people's weddings or their, personal parties. And sometimes it was just business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely don't politic at all. I don't care. I don't like it.
I think it's crazy just how humble you are, man. Just like,
sorry.
Nah, man.
That's good, man.
It's good and it's bad, though. I mean,
Now,
go ahead.
No,
I'm just saying, like, I've had a talk with myself on how I want to live my life, and nothing is more important than my happiness. Because there was a lot of those times, all them stories I'm telling you, there was a lot of times where I was depressed and upset about life, and I didn't ever feel like suicidal or anything like that, but I was like down in the dumps. And it's not till I figured out who I was and how I wanted to live my life that I became super happy, right? But like the guy Shake, who I was telling you took the credit for Rick Ross, he ended up killing himself.
Yeah, R.I.P. Shake.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know why. I don't know if he had problems or I don't know what happened, but I know that it hurt a lot that this guy that gave me all this great advice. Another person, Chris Lighty, used to give me great advice, and he passed away.
Yo, rest in peace, Chris Lighty.
So I feel life is precious, and I would like, and then I also turned down a lot of shit, right? Rihanna, she did tell me to be her DJ and go on the road with her. And I wanted to stick at the radio.
And then Max Glazer, right?
Yeah, I gave it to all my people know, like, Max Glazer is my brother. Like, as soon as I said I can't go, I said I got the perfect guy for you, right? Pitbull asked me to be his DJ. But all this is because I was so loyal to Hot 97, I wanted to stay on the air. So I don't have regrets, but I'm just saying, like, it's also my fault. Like, I could have went on the road with Rihanna and produced for her and DJ'd for her and been at these huge, fucking.
Well, I mean, it wasn't your fault, but I mean, you created such a huge legacy on Hot 97 too. At the same time, man.
That's what I'm saying. But it's at the end of the day, my last 2 years of Hot 97 were miserable.
That was
like,
what 2013.
I left
2014?
February 2015.
Okay.
So it was miserable the last 2 years of a place that I loved going to every day of my life.
Why?
Just new management getting shifted around, Ebro getting shifted around, Angie leaving, Mr. C leaving. It was fucking crazy. It was like my home. Like, my dad died, my stepdad came in, he was a dick. You know what I mean? Like, and I moved out. I was pissed off. I moved out, and all this stuff was happening. But then I talked to myself. I said, "Yo, none of this is worth the happiness, right? Like, I know what I want to do. I like going home, watching TV, and eating chicken wings. Like, I don't like popping bottles at the club. I don't wear jewelry. I don't judge anyone who does. It's just not my thing."
I heard you speaking about this. I think it was on The Breakfast Club about like the eating, like not a disorder, but like.
Oh no, I have an eating disorder.
But I have like the same thing where my weight fluctuates up and down. And because I overeat out of stress, but also to keep myself up so I can keep working.
Yeah.
And then also like on some like weird reward shit.
Yeah.
Where you like overeat. You know what I'm saying? So I go through the same shit too.
Yeah. There's a bunch of eating disorders. There's like so many. And people don't even like, you just get made fun of. Like, you fat fuck. Like, I'm hurting inside.
It goes back to the depression.
You did the 40-day reset. Is
Yeah.
that what it's called?
I did that before.
What did that diet consist of?
It's like,
because I remember you used to put up like Chipotle plates, which is like tomato on the steak.
Yeah, it's like 40-day reset is a fruit in the morning, orange, apple, strawberry, or grapefruit. Then 2.5 hours later, you got to eat a protein and a vegetable, like some steak and tomatoes, or chicken and cucumbers, or fish and celery. And then another 2 hours, you eat another fruit, but it can't be the same fruit you ate before. And then another 2.5 hours, you eat another protein and vegetable, but it can't be what you ate earlier. And it just keeps shocking your body in every 2 hours, but it's hard.
How much did you lose on that?
Sounds like, oh, what?
55 pounds.
In 40 days?
Maybe a little more.
Oh, shit.
Because I was
man.
fucking up cheating.
Yo,
I still lost
that's a lot of
That's
work,
still a
though,
lot.
right?
55 is a lot, bro.
Yeah.
God
I went
damn.
from 250 to 195.
Damn.
Is that 55?
Yeah.
Yeah. You also had a Flex doing it too, right?
Yeah, Flex got into it. Flex is better than me. Flex kills it. But the thing is, Flex doesn't have an eating disorder. That's the thing. The diet, if you are good with food and you rock that 40-day reset, you win. My problem is the other problem I have. So it hurts when I try to lose weight.
What is that? Your
Like
relationship?
compulsive overeating, yeah. It's like, even when I'm not like, it's
Overeating in one sit down, overeating
it's
throughout
different.
the whole
It's
day.
different kinds, like binge eating. Like if I'm upset, I might eat, but then if I reward myself, I eat. It's like both ways.
Yeah.
And like you can't like if I get a thing of Oreos like with the 3 rows, I'm probably gonna eat the whole thing.
Double stuff.
So when I get Oreos, I only get like the small pack. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because otherwise I'll just eat the whole thing.
So wait, like,
And I hide food, I sneak it. Shh, don't tell nobody.
so this whole depression shit that you were talking about before, it kind of like led up to like comedy, or did it just kind of all work itself out? Where
No, I went to therapy for years. I went to therapy and therapy helped a lot. And then we didn't even talk anything about comedy. Comedy was happening all throughout this.
How did it go hand in hand with the DJing though?
Oh, comedy and DJing is almost exactly the same. So the lifestyle's the same. Like a lot of DJs and comedians like stay out all night drinking, wake up late. You know what I'm saying? Also, when you read a room, right? Like so, as a DJ, you walk into the club, you're like, oh, there's a lot of drunk white girls in here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or oh, this look a little hood tonight. Or whatever it is, or this is kind of corporate, you know what I'm saying? You like, oh, maybe I should play clean versions, you know? So when you do comedy, you look at the room and you're like, oh, there's a lot of tourists, or this like, you know, there's a hood crowd. I gotta be louder, more rambunctious, you know what I'm saying? Or like this like a corporate event, I gotta keep it clean. And it's all about timing. Like the way you drop the records at a certain point is the way you pause when people are laughing and you drop the punchline. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It was in a stage presence. Like if you're a DJ that talks on the mic, when I used to go on stage, I didn't have the fear like of new comedians. Like new comedians when they start, they're like, "Hello, hi." It's like, "Yo, what's up? What's up?" You know, just grab the mic, and just do it. It's very loud.
it's also like the way you like organize the jokes, right? Like
Yeah.
your opening joke,
Yeah, like-
you know, like and then I'm gonna end it with like a big joke, like with
Yeah.
my biggest joke and shit
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Or the guy before you just bombed and you're like, yo, let me start with the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, this guy just ruined the whole night.
Yeah.
You got to come on with the hits. You know what I'm saying? It's all that stuff, like organizing it, it's like playlists.
I normally don't take requests, but this was a special one. Crooked wanted us to go back to episode 86 featuring Boogie Blind, where he learned a huge lesson as a DJ. I guess all I could say is never underestimate the relationship between a DJ and their speakers. I'll let Crooked explain the rest.
Hey, yo, Blind, I got a story. I don't know if you remember this.
P.
I'm gonna put you on blast. I'm gonna put you on blast.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna put you on blast. I don't know if you remember this shit.
Man. Are you going to talk about the story when you told me that somebody took the speakers and I was
Wait. Let me get my shit off. Pause. Let me tell the story.
Spicy.
Yo, this is the kind of relationship that me and Blind have, though. It's pretty funny. So I think I was coming up into the DJ shit, and then this is when we were like all just like grind, like trying to get any gigs we could. And my boy was opening some club or something, and he didn't have no speakers. And then I was like, Blind, can I borrow your speakers?
Yeah.
And I don't think I borrowed the amp, but I borrowed the speakers, right? Yeah. So then I picked up the speakers, and I did the gig, and then they were just like, yo, we want you to come back next week. So I was there for a little bit, and I told Blind, yo, I'm gonna bring back your speakers, but it seems like they're borrowing it or whatever. So I ended up doing like a couple weeks, and then the club got shut down, and I couldn't get access to the speakers. But during that time,
I remember this.
And then but listen,
Cricket never told me this.
Yeah, I never told him. So it was completely my fault. You know what I mean?
If somebody jacks you for the speakers, tell me.
Yeah.
And we'll go get the speakers. Like, I'll help you get the speakers back.
You bring the goon squad and go get the speakers.
Yeah. No, but they shut down the club. Something happened. I couldn't get to the speakers, but I was like DJing and I was caught up in my own shit. And Blind was like, yo, man, I need those speakers. You know, I got events I could do with those speakers and blah, blah, blah. And I was on my shit where I wasn't really like feeling. I was just like, yo, like I was in my own world. I'm like, I'm grinding right now.
Curving me.
Yeah, a little bit.
I got curved.
Yeah,
No wonder you remember his mom's house number. You kept dialing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I need my speakers, man.
You didn't call the club on that?
So it was just some shady shit where the promoter didn't have access to the club. But he was using the club space.
So he dubbed you for the speakers and you ain't tell me.
No, but I don't know what happened to the speakers. I don't know what happened.
So the sneakers, so somebody took the speakers.
No, I couldn't even get to the space to pick up the speaker.
But the guy was still doing parties at the space.
No, he got shut down. So the club owner was like, yo, pay me whatever, or and then he was probably thinking that those speakers were the promoters.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I'm holding on to your speakers.
Oh, so
you know
he was like holding them for ransom.
Clear case of extortion.
Until he got his money back.
Right. And then my boy who was the promoter was like, yo, I can't get access in there. So like, I don't know what you want me to do. And then I was like hounding him, and then Boogie was hounding me, but at the same time I was starting to like work a little bit more, so I was kind of like just stuck in my own world. And then I forgot, yo, there was like the illest, I don't know, man. It was like straight up, there was just from your block in West Harlem, I don't know who the fuck it was. It was just, he was the dude that used to finance shit. I used to see him all the time, but he used to finance a lot of shit in uptown. And then I got a call from him, like, yo,
they called your crib.
Yeah, so I don't know what to call him, man. Like, he was like
the middleman.
No, he's not a middleman. He's like
the hitman.
What do you call it? What would you call him, man? The enforcer?
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know where we're going with this.
Like, so like in the hood,
he was the muscle.
He was the muscle.
He was the tricep.
He was the muscle.
He was the businessman.
Where are we going with this?
He makes sure.
I don't really want to reflect.
He was the collector.
I don't want to reflect on this guy.
No, this is reflection time.
I don't want to reflect.
He was
about what you want.
Of a DJ.
I want to reflect.
He was the collector.
Well, put it this way. Like, let's say they're like in the hood. Let's say there's like a Nino Brown or something.
He was the G Money. No, he was the dub man.
Yeah. He was G Money. Like G Money called me up or something, right?
We really doing this, guys?
It sounded like he was the dub man.
Reflect.
So then G Money called me up. He's like, "Yo, what's up?" And I'm like, "Yo, what's up? What's up? What's good?" He's like, "Nah, yeah, what's good?" And I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Yo, I want to know why you fucking up. You fucking up right now. You know." He's like, "Yo, you want doing some stupid shit. Why you fucking up?" And I was like confused. I'm like, "Yo, what did I do?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I was just like, "You know what we talking about, motherfucker." And I was just like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, I never did shit."
Oh shit!
And then all of a sudden,
I
think he put Blind on the phone, and it was like, I was like, "Blind, what the fuck is going on?" He's like, I need my speakers, man. And I was like, "Wow." My man got G Money. He called up G Money.
The goon squad was on your hand.
And I was like, "Yo," I said, like, "Yo, you need the speakers," like, and he was like, they was just like, "Yo, man, we ain't fucking around." I was like, "Yo, Blind, how the fuck you gonna call me like this and bring G Money into the shit. You know what I'm saying? And then G Money's talking to me like, he's like, yo, you need to shit, yo, Blind. I don't know. I don't like the way Crook is talking right now. And he was like, yo, he's like, Crooked, I'm about to come up there and slap the shit out you right now.
Nah.
And I was like, there was a part of me, I was like, yo, I was going to say something. And I was like, nah, this is G Money. I can't really say nothing to this dude, right? And I kept directing everything to Blind. I'm like, yo, Blind, how you do me like this, man? I was like, yo, Blind. And then, but I did realize something. I was being completely selfish and inconsiderate about this dude's hustle. And I was fucking up his hustle and his flow. So
I ended up getting some more speakers, but we didn't really have to reflect on this, bro.
But I learned an important lesson because I didn't really see it as a big deal because I was like, yo, those aren't my speakers. I'm not making money on a steadily basis, but you was. And it took me to that point to realize that you went to G Money to be like, yo, man, this motherfucker stopping my money, and I ain't really trying to, like, you know, Crook is my man. I ain't trying to fuck him up, but I need to wake his ass up that I need these speakers. So then I just kind of realized, like, yo, Blind, man, you know, like, let's go get your speakers, man. And I went and we copped some new speakers for him. But I learned that shit, like, I was just like, yo, man, I realized I was just being selfish.
I didn't mean to do that. I really wasn't.
No, but I think it was like, you know, it's like
I wasn't trying to be tough, Tony.
You was trying to get your speakers, though, man. Shit. I would have done it.
Oh.
Damn. I would have done it? Wait, what?
I'm just saying.
Damn, this is harsh, man. We shouldn't be reflecting on this.
This has been the Best of the Road podcast, Volume 2, Inspiring Stories, presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm Nudia. I've been your guest host. Don't worry. D Miles, Jamie, Neva, and Crooked will be back next week with all new episodes. It's been super fun filling in, hanging out, and I'll see you.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.